Hi everybody, in today's video I'm going to share with you how to create a template and add that to your assignment Dropbox for either your resume or your cover letter. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Google Classroom and I'm going to open up the assignment that I want to add a template to. In this case I'm going to start with my resume. I'm going to click on the View Assignment so that I have the page that has the Add or Create. So I could add or create from here, but unfortunately if we're doing a template, it won't actually add it or create it using a template here. So what we need to do is actually go into the Google Drive. So I'm going to click on my Google Apps button here, which is that waffle next to my avatar. And I'm going to select the triangle for Drive. When I open up my Google Drive, what I'm going to need to do is actually locate this button that says plus new so that I can open up a new document. And once it's fully loaded, I'll have the choice of Google Docs or Google Slides and so on. So I'm not going to click on this. What I'm going to do is just hover over it and the little arrow next to it so that I get the menu that gives me the option of choosing a blank document or a template. So I'm going to select a template. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that it's not on the school templates, but rather on general templates up here at the top so that I get a full list of all of the templates that I could be using. So with that in mind, you'll see it starts off with essays and reports. But if I scroll down, you'll see that there I can find letters and resumes underneath letters. So for this assignment, or for these assignments, you're going to be choosing from one of these templates to use to write your resume or your cover letter. When you're writing the cover letter, it is a nice touch to choose the one that kind of matches with the format that you've used before. However, I'm going to let you know that this informational letter, as well as the letter with Swiss underneath it, are not great formats to use for writing your letters. Because they're not really formatted in a true business letter format. So they can be a little tricky to try to get them where you want them to be. Same thing with this one that says business letter modern writer, because you're going to have to remember to take out the heading that says your company on it and add in the address for whomever you're sending this to, because right now I think it's only with the address of the sender. So the best ones to choose from are business letter geometric or business letter or letter spearmint. So I'm actually going to choose the business letter spearmint because if you choose that one, there is a little bit of reformatting that you might need to do for this. So I can show you how to do that. All right, so it's going to open that up for me. It's automatically going to be lettered or named letter. So the first thing I'm going to do is rename this with my name and then change it to cover letter. All right. So that way it's easy for me to find. All right. So then what I was trying to say about the reformatting is right here in this line here. It looks like a, a ruler. That's it. So what I want to do is actually change where that right margin is. The right margin should be an inch over. To do this, I'm going to go over to File, and I'm going to have to try and get it on to the setup thingy here. Let me move this so that I can see it. Here we go. We're going to go to File and Page Setup. And we're going to make sure that the left and right margins match at 1. So I'm going to change that to a 1 from a 2.5 and just hit OK. And then it will automatically fix the whole page for me. So this is what in a format that's called Greeking. So this is kind of all gibberish in here. It's just a placeholder or visual so that you know what your letter should look like when it's done. So you're going to come in here and replace all of this stuff with your own information. So you would put in your name, your address, and so on here, in your phone number and your email address. You're going to need to remember to change the date to the most recent date. You can change this format if you feel better about it to, for example, May 10, 2021 instead of 10th May 2021. And then down here, this is going to be where you would put in, your recipient's address. I don't know why it's highlighting it for me. There we go. So since this is going to be a placeholder, you could leave that blank as your placeholder. All right. And then you would begin your letter in the body. All right. We're going to go back to our Dropbox. So find my Dropbox over here. So now what I want to do is attach this to the Dropbox. So I'm going to come over here to the button that says Add or Create. And I'm going to say from Google Drive, where it should now show me the most recent document that I have created. And it does. If it doesn't, I can just type in here the title I gave it, which would be name and cover letter. And I could find that fairly quickly. So when I click on it, then I'm going to select Insert. And it will add that to my Dropbox. So now when I'm done, you'll see that this document should now, let me refresh it, have a little button that will say Turn In when I'm done. It might take some time to refresh that. Or I can just come back here and press this little Turn In button and submit it when I'm finished. Okay.